Hey guys, happy 2025. Today's video is going to be on green weavers and how I've got on with mine so far. Obviously, I got my green weavers from Ant Antics. I was there when they came in as fresh queens, and myself and Sam raised them up. And then once they had first workers, I decided I needed just to have a colony of my own. And I didn't need to have them posted, so I took them home in the tub weaver setup that we used to raise them in at Ant Antics. And then I got the weavers, the small weaver outworld to start with. Such a good, easy to use setup and absolutely ideal for weavers. Moving them in was super easy, as it was just a case of swapping their tube into their new home. Hardest part was moving all the workers that were not in the tube, as green weavers have the stickiest feeties ever. Once everyone was in, I spent way too much time watching them. The queen is absolutely beautiful. Rich shades of green, chunky but with a cute little yellowish head. She can pump out loads of eggs and is always well protected by her workers. My workers started being born at around 4 to 6 millimeters, but they soon got much bigger. You'll see later on in the video how big mine are now, and I'm not even at the biggest cast yet. The workers are so elegant. I love how when they're angry, they point their gasters up in the air. But the most insane thing about them is their grip. It's like they have super glue feet. The most impressive thing about these ladies has got to be their weaving skills. The way they weave the end of the test tube to make the opening smaller is so neat. You can literally see every fine line going back and forth so many times. It almost looks like a thin fabric. They have also done some freestyle building on the ground, likely because I was heating them with a heat mat, as usually these ladies would live up in the trees. But with the heat below, it's likely they've made and pitched their own tent on the ground. Seeing them use their larvae to create these amazing structures and doors has been very cool. In the wild, they would be weaving leaves together to create nests, so I definitely wasn't expecting them to show off their skills this much when they have their already made artificial nest. When they do a lot of weaving, they definitely require a lot more protein. At the peak of this build, I was giving them 12 mealworms a day, plus of course everyone's all-time favourite, sugar snaps. Another interesting thing about this species is their teamwork. They are so freaking strong for their size. And they don't like to eat out at fancy restaurants I provide for them. They are more the type to phone in an order for a collection. When the food is ready, several of the family members come down from the nest and help drag the food back home. Annoyingly, they are not good at taking out the trash. They will leave feeder insects remains in their test tubes for ages. And you'd think it would go all manky or mouldy, but it never does. Now, considering it's quite a hot and humid environment in the test tube, you'd expect it to start going off within a day or two. But these clever ladies seem to create their own Tupperware or food storage device. They weave the openings of the insects closed, keeping all the inside goodness sealed, until they want seconds or decide it's dustbin day. Then came the time to give them an upgrade. I went for the Weaver 6 from Ant Antics, in a very open outworld. As they normally like to live up in trees and get heated by the sun, I got my first ever heat lamp. I tested this out for a while before moving the ants in, just so that I could make sure I could get the temp to around 27. Once that was all done, I just popped out their test tubes from their small weaver outworld and put them in the Weaver 6, plus I added some new tubes. I placed the whole setup on a heat mat too, just as a backup heat source. So I placed the test tube on the ground as well, just to give them multiple options of place to nest in. They have been in the Weaver 6 now for several weeks and doing really well. I absolutely love these ladies. I highly recommend this species. They are awesome. For such cute, elegant ants, they are full of butt-pointing attitude. They're quite content too. They happily plod along, and I never see them trying to find weak points to try and get out. And they are surprisingly easy to keep with the right setup. Anyways, that's enough of me waffling on. I'll leave you with some extra bits and information. And of course, if you want to treat yourself to a colony of greenweavers, check out Ant Antics and you can use discount code ANTSENGLAND25 and save yourself 10%. As always, thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, bye!